You know, oh, you deserve better than that. If you wanna,
How you feel about that? What you need to tell all them?
oh.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Miles and Karen. Talking about Karen has been finally put in her place. Yes, Karen has finally been put in her place. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe. You click on that bell button for a notification of the uploads, baby. And for those of you who are returnees, well, you got the minerals. You got the minerals. Yeah. All right, listen. Don't forget to grab your merchandise as well. Listen, send them back to the manufacturer. You understand? Send them back to the manufacturer. All right, then let's get into the video. So, on the reunion, there was, we knew that obviously Karen was about saying in the last episodes that she wanted to be put in her place. She wanted to have a man respectfully do that to her. And we spoke about the toxicity and dysfunction of that. But I believe that she has been put in her place in this particular reunion just by some of the things that she said and he said as well. And so I believe that the interesting thing on this particular show was the fact that when Karen was asked about the change and the reason why she decided that she wanted to now make this work in terms of where she was convinced to make this work, it was
Him step up and tell me that it's not okay. That's when I was like, okay, this feels good.
It has to be your moment. It has to be your...
At the point where Miles decided to be very frank. Now, we saw that in episode 13 where we saw her crying. And why was she crying? Because Miles have said he did not know whether he wanted to continue or not. Okay, and so I want to make that point very, very clear. She started crying at the point where she felt like she was being resented for, at the moment where Miles said, I don't know if I want to continue. That was the put me in your place earlier on in the season. Yeah, that was the start of it. And from then onwards, Miles kept on telling us he's not sure. And it was confirmed on this particular reunion where Miles said, listen, up
point where you were thinking about saying no?
Yes, for sure.
Really?
Literally up until I sat on the couch.
up until the point of the chair, brother. Up until the point of the chair, my brother, I was not convinced fully. You know what I mean? And he said that even on the D-Day. He said, obviously, the last few weeks have been great, but I'm not sure if she has the capacity to give me what I need, right? And so even though she said something about as well, like the moment that he started telling the truth is the moment where she felt like she was beginning to see herself with him in a sense. You know what I mean? Like she was starting to see him in a different light. And again, I think at this point, as we've said this over and over again, we've wasted our breath with it. We knew that obviously that Karen had, I would say, some dysfunction in her. You know what I mean? And the telling of the truth is to put me in your place. But what's interesting is what she said after. She said, even though he thought that she couldn't handle the truth about the way he was truly feeling, that's all she wanted all along, right?
The truth about how he was really feeling, that's really what I wanted all along.
Right? What she wanted was for him to be to the place where I think he was fed up. I think what you're actually saying is that you wanted to see him get to the point of, okay, like fix up. And I'm saying again, why would you need to do that? Which means that proves what we're talking about, the dysfunction. For you to get to a place where you have to see your partner get to a place where, like, listen, are you all right? Like, don't, like, I'm at the point of brink. I'm at the point where basically man's almost over the edge. Yeah. For you to finally get it in your mind. Like, that is what we're talking about, dysfunction. If you're a person watching this show and you've had to wait, or you're wanting to wait, or you want to prod someone to get to the point, to the edge of the cliff to then actually fix your behavior, you've got the problem. That's dysfunction. Now, I don't deny that we sometimes take the mick and sometimes we overstep our mark, but we're not trying to intentionally do it. We're not trying to prod you, okay, to that point. We're not trying to push you to a point where you are at the edge. Like, it's almost as if you want to see the tiger come out. We don't need to see that. You know what I mean? And then she went on to say, obviously,
Along, because like, seriously, just the same way viewers are watching and they're like, man, this guy is putting in all this work. He's got to be frustrated. I was like,
same way viewers were watching, seeing Miles putting all this work in, and she was saying, obviously, we knew that obviously he was getting frustrated. She also admits that she knew that he too was getting frustrated. So, see, at the point where she finally fixed up is when she realized, hold on a minute. And this is what we're talking about, the dysfunction, toxicity. When she started realizing that, hold up, wait a minute, he's getting frustrated. And not only that, he's willing to pull away. That's when I'm going to fix up. That's the wake up call for me. That's the shout that breaks me up from my dream, right? The fantasy that I'm living in. And that's what we were speaking about throughout the course of the season. When he decides that he doesn't want her no more, when he decides that when he brings off that energy that I don't want you no more, because it's an energy. Before it is an action, it's an energy. You will feel it in the person's face, mannerisms, movement, tone of words. You'll feel it before you see it, right? And once you feel that person kind of pulling away, there's often I'll call a pull and a tug. So that person begins to pull away a little bit, and you then begin to pull closer to them. This is what we were talking about the Karen situation. We were saying that when he decides he doesn't want it no more, she's going to want it. And I believe this proves what we're talking about. That's the dysfunction we're discussing here. Yeah? Now, and all right, cool. And then she went on to say, obviously, I've seen him step up and tell me it's not okay. And this feels so good. Now, if you didn't want to clock it before I said what I said, let these words marinate in you, okay? Let it marinate deep inside you. Let it touch past the skin into the bones and deep what we're saying here. She said, and I've seen him step up and tell me. So this is what you meant by step up.
Him step up and tell me that it's not okay. That's when I was like, okay, this feels good.
It has to be your moment. It has to be your.
This is what you meant by step up. The brother steps up and tells me that it's not okay. That's stepping up. I thought stepping up was something serious. But you're telling me stepping up is telling her that, listen, it's okay not to be okay. Sometimes it hurts. Listen, we saw him tell her. This is why it's interesting. We saw him tell her it is not okay. There were some episodes before they got to a point where she addressed him in episode 15, where they were talking in the kitchen. Before that, some episodes back, there was a cutscene, I think it's episode 13, a cutscene where he tells her, I don't feel that's fair, what you said about it, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So now it makes sense why she said the marriage only started a few weeks ago. Because now she's starting to try. Why? Because the person's now pulling away. That is dysfunction. If you see me in a relationship with a girl, or I'm getting to go to a girl, and the only reason, look, man, them do this all the time. Oh my days. Man, them do this all the time. Ladies, you can testify. You don't want it no more. Man's been playing about. He's not serious about his life. Yeah, he's not serious about you. You stop answering his calls and start ignoring him. What happens? After a little while, what happens? Where you been at, babe? Why you been distant? You been ghosting me? Blah, 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 blah. What happens? As soon as you get close, he goes off again, right? It's dysfunction. You know what I mean? It's not showing it's not showing that the person's really true about you. They have an agenda in mind. They want something from it. Now, women do this too as well. But I think it's different for Karen in this relationship, because I genuinely did feel that there was something. Karen knows this guy's a good guy. This is the difference. Karen knows this guy is a good guy. Okay, and I think women and men are a bit different. Guys know the girl's a good guy, but will say, okay, right now I'm not ready for it, so I'm gonna maybe do some madness and go away or whatever, cheat, whatever you want to call it. But he knows she's a good girl. Women will say, okay, I know he's a good guy. I've got to make a decision. Do I go with a good guy now, or do I live a little bit more? Do I need another guy that will be there? Do you know what I'm saying? Because oftentimes guys do a lot of mad stuff, yeah? Whereas women oftentimes are trying to find that right relation, that right balance, okay, for them in a relationship. And so what Karen was doing was trying to convince herself. But the dysfunction that was running as a program in her was requiring of Miles to step up and tell her it's not okay. But he was telling you it's not okay from the jump. You know what I'm saying? And then she's like, obviously, you know what, you can't force it. So wait, are you telling me that the chemistry began to flow for you when he was telling you it's not okay? That was when he finally put her in her place, guys. He finally put her in her place by stepping up and telling her it's not okay. But let me put this as close. something interesting has happened in a relationship, and I'm gonna.
And have you had any sliding up in your DMs?
Yeah, I've had a couple.
You had a couple?
Couple hundred.
Couple.
A couple hundred?
There's some people in.
I want to point this. I put this in my last review as well. There has been a power shift that's going to change the dynamic of their relationship. Miles, as Miles is gonna be going through the course of this relationship, the power that Miles has astronomically grown. Though he was a puppy dog looking at the dog handler, and I say that in a sense of power, not in anything derogatory. The shift has happened now because now they're on TV. Other women are now seeing Miles as a great catch.
They've been slipping and sliding.
Karen, what are they saying?
I don't know. What they be telling you?
I want to let you know that instantly puts the power into Miles's hands. Do you know how I know that? The same way why somebody who wants to redirect the power in the relationship tries to make their partner jealous. Because once they know that their partner gets jealous, they switch power from that person to them. The same thing happens here. Inadvertently, he hasn't asked for this. They're on a show, and many women have seen what Karen is really like for them. They have an image of what Karen's like. And in the DMs, the fact that he even exposed and said,
you deserve better than that. If you want to...
How you feel about that? What you need to tell all them?
But you exposed already the Insta message, the Insta messages, the types of messages you're getting, which were speaking against your woman. So there's two things happening here. You're getting praised by other women for being a great man, number one. So if Karen doesn't see it, if she starts misbehaving, trust me, Miles will know how to put that in check real quick. Number two, Karen's also going to see that and know there are a bag of women waiting for your man. That is social proofing. As you start to see all these women start to desire your man, you're going to ask yourself the question, what is it they see in my man? Okay, if they're all seeing that, then there's a value in him. So now that social proof begins to influence your behavior and how you value the person. Isn't that what happens in a lot of our circles? Certain gal and certain guy get put on a certain pedestal due to the fact that everybody thinks they're a certain way. And then some of us will come along and be like, wait, hold on. Why is everyone liking this guy or this girl? What's up with them? Like, why is everyone so social proofing? Social proofing, right? And so it's going to make a big difference in their relationship now going forward. Depending on how aware or how I should say, how influenced Miles will become by that. You know what I mean? But it's going to make a difference because it's going to shake her from her position.
You deserve better than that. If you want to...
How you feel about that? What you need to tell all them?
And it's going to shake him from his position. His position of, not seeing himself as the most valued prize here will suddenly change. And her seeing herself as the most valued prize will begin to change because actually what will happen is she will have to start clinging on to her husband because she's going to realize there are other women that will want him. You mess around and see what happens. Someone's going to slip in. Do you know what I'm saying? That keeps you on your toes now, Karen. Do you get what I'm saying? That's a power shift. Whereas beforehand, you were the one that Miles was desiring and wanting and da-da-da. But now you know that all these women want it. That can create insecurity too. I'm telling you, listen, things can change in an instant. You know what I'm saying? She's going to have to now rely on Miles's good heart. That thing that she fell in love with, the heart, that's what she's going to have to rely on. You know what I mean? Because when you have options, you have power. Isn't it? If you have Tesco, Sainsbury, Lidl, Aldi, the shops you can shop at, who has the power? The shop or you? You get to decide what shop you're going into. Now, depending on the price of the product, if you say it's too expensive, you can go to another shop if they sell it lower, right? So you as the buyer with many options have power. You have buying power because you have options. If you had no options, you would have very reduced power, right? And so now the feeling chosen and feeling lucky to have this woman will start to die down because actually you will be the one that she's lucky to have. I'm telling you, man. And the fact...
DMs.
Yeah, I've had a couple.
You had a couple?
Couple hundred.
Couple.
A couple hundred?
There's some people in there. There's some people in
They've
there.
been slipping and sliding.
That she knew his DMs were long and huge tells me everything I need to know. Either Miles said it or she already knew because of what she has seen on the internet. Either way, she's aware that there is a pack of wolves waiting. And that changes your mind. That will also put you in your place. That will also let you know, listen, that this that you had in your image beforehand is changed. Listen, I'm telling you, man, let's keep it real out here. Listen, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, you share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the what? Uploads, baby. And so we appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay